Well, hello, beautiful people of the internet. It's Chris Wood from Rising Phoenix YouTube channel, and I provide a mental health channel with regards to PTSD growth, as well as anxiety and depression, my journey and struggles that I want to share to you all, and of course, any stories that you'd like to share with me, you can put them down in the comments. So today, we're going to talk about anxiety attacks.
This is the worst.
Now, anxiety attacks they're a fun little beast, aren't they? Yeah. I'm going to give you 8 things you can do if you happen to have an anxiety attack. Now, anxiety attacks, they can come on at any time. Sometimes you can figure out that, oh, they're coming. It's coming. It's coming. Kind of like, oh, I'm going to be sick. You know, it's right there.
No! God, please, no! No!
So your body will usually give you some sort of physical clue to let you know that, hey, hello, you need to do something quickly here, or else our blood pressure's going to go up, our heart rate's going to go up, and we're going to be in this tunnel that we're not going to be able to get out of for however long it may take. So the first thing that I would suggest is knowing your triggers. If you can know your triggers prior to you being triggered, that's going to help a lot. You can utilize different tools in your toolbox to ensure you're not put in a position where you're going to be triggered. But unfortunately, there are going to be times that you really aren't going to be able to do anything about it. You're going to be in an environment where you're going to be triggered, and you got to figure out what you need to do. Sometimes you might have to have a plan in place, depending on what it is that you're doing. But in this case, knowing your triggers is the first thing that you should definitely know. And the second thing I would say that you should be aware of is if you are in a situation that you are triggered and you're not able to get out of that situation. So in other words, if you're triggered by sirens, that would be me. I'm triggered by sirens. What do I do in order to get out of that situation? Sometimes it's not possible to get out of that situation. If I'm sitting in a car, if I'm at I don't know, a grocery store and the alarm goes off, things like that. Avoidance isn't the best tactic, but sometimes that's what you need to do in order to take care of yourself, or get yourself out of that situation. You know, if you're in a situation where you're able to remove yourself to avoid that trigger, there's no harm in doing that. There is nothing wrong with doing that. Let me repeat that again. There is nothing wrong with doing that. It's okay. If you need to remove yourself from that situation to stop a panic attack from happening, then do it.
Andy, come on! Do it! Yeah!
The third thing that I would recommend is using a grounding technique. Now, there are plenty of grounding techniques you can use, but I would recommend something that you can utilize that is going to take you right out of that trigger. At least be able to start calming you down so you're not so flushed. And one way to do that is an infuser. Now this is, oh, it smells so good. This was made for me by a counselor when I was in treatment. And it's an infuser, but it's a smelly stick. So basically how it works is you would dip this piece here into to a particular oil, whatever that might be. You can do a blend if you want. Whatever that smells really good, that's going to take you out of that trigger. Smell is actually a really good way to do that. It's probably the quickest way to get you out of a trigger that, or not only a trigger, but will slow down or stop that anxiety attack from happening. So it's got little holes on here, and it's just a smelly stick. You can get these online at Amazon. You can get them through different aromatherapy shops. They're easy to find, and I'm sure, if you happen to go to a shop or Google it, you'd be able to figure out the best place to get them. But I would say Amazon would be one of them. Great little tool. You can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your purse, you can put it in your knapsack, wherever you're going to put it. And if you're feeling like, ooh, a trigger's coming on, like I know my triggers, this just happened, this is going to help me get out of it. The next one that I would suggest is controlling your breathing, which is so difficult to do when you're in the middle of an anxiety attack, because that's the first thing that really goes. You have this incredible amount of anxiety and fear, and everything is going to just transpire. And it's my puppy dog here. Hey Neo, you want to come say hi? Up. So this is my dog, who's also another grounding technique. Mwah, that's Neo. So you could utilize your animals if you want to and touch them, and that will help you get out of an attack. Of course, this is Neo here. And Morpheus, my big wolfhound. Good boy. Anyway, so that's another grounding technique you can use. You can use your animals just to touch them, and they will help you get out of that attack. But breathing, going back to breathing. Box breathing. Can't say enough about it. You inhale for 4 breaths. You hold your breath for 4 breaths. You exhale for 4 breaths, and then you do it all again. That's all it is. That's what's a box, because you're doing box breathing. Another really good tool is meditation. I think it's really going to depend on where you're at to actually grab a hold of meditation. Again, I think if you're to utilize this when you're actually, prior to having a major anxiety attack, something that you do on a regular basis, that's what your mind's going to go to. If it's just even a question of just sitting there and just trying to work on your breathing, get your box breathing down, and just relaxing, trying to relax your muscles, thinking about what everything feels like, thinking about what's happening in your body from toes right up to your head, doing a count just to see where you're at. That is a form of meditation. Mindfulness is another technique you can use, and in mindfulness you can think about things like your safe place. I highly recommend that you have a safe place that you can go to if you need to go to, if you're feeling depressed, upset, angry, whatever the case may be. Mine is the forest. That's one of my safe places. Another place is on a hike where it's basically, I'm not even sure, maybe 3,000 feet, maybe not that high.
I don't know.
Maybe 1,000 feet above sea level, where it looks all over, looks through to the United States, islands all across Vancouver Island. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I've meditated there as well. So once you have a safe place, you can go to that in your head. And that's where the mindfulness comes into play. So think of your safe place and go there. Another really good tool is counting. I know it sounds silly, but what you're doing is you're bringing your mind back into focus. You're bringing your mind back into reality by grounding yourself, by counting. You can count. I would suggest if you even count backwards, that would be even better, from 100 going down. Your mind has to think to do that. It switches to, okay, I'm not in fright. I'm not in flight, fight, freeze, or faint mode.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I have to count now, and I have to do it backwards, and I'm not going to be able to do both. So it takes you right out of that. The last one, guys, I don't think you're going to like this too much. I sure don't like it, but hey, this is reality. It is what it is, right? Ride it out. Ride out that anxiety attack. You know, you're not going to die from anxiety attack, and you're not going to lose consciousness. You're going to be okay, is what I'm saying. So write it out. Go through the motion, and then look after yourself once you've had the attack. You can utilize any of the tools that I mentioned after you've had the anxiety attack as well. They're not just during, but it's also after. You're best to practice these things before you get into an anxiety attack. Probably the best advice that I can give you, because what'll happen is your mind will just go on default. It goes on auto control. So if you have been using these tools in the past, then that's what your subconscious mind is going to go to when you're in this particular state. So practice these tools that I'm talking about and these tips, and when it comes down to when you have an anxiety attack, you'll have enough in your toolbox to use at least one of them. I hope that I've been able to provide some information for you that is helpful. If you have any comments or anything that any suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. I would be really interested to see what you guys use for tools when you're having anxiety attacks. If this is the first time you've actually watched my channel, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. The reason for that is I really would like to share this information with other people that are struggling throughout the world, and just let everybody know that you're not alone. There's others out there that are struggling too, and we're in this together. I got your six. Wherever you are in this beautiful world, have a safe evening, morning, afternoon, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.